So ever since I was born, Satan always been trying to kill me. There was times when I was a baby, I just collapsed, stopped breathing, and many other times I passed out. And then there was a time when I was around 11, I met this ugly man, this voodoo man, and me and him will have conversations, and then one of these times he we would go through like this ritual thing, and then he took out a coal out of his throat and put it in my stomach. And he says, from this day on, I will know wherever you go. And then afterwards, I don't, a lot of people in Overcomers don't even know this. Afterwards, when I was about to walk away, he turned around. He said, come back. I said, why? He said, because they're going to come for you later on in your life. I'm like, who's they? I didn't know he was talking about Jesus. They said they will be coming back for you later on. So he put a second one inside of me. And ever since he put that inside of me, my whole life been, I started acting up in school. I got suspended like 35 times in middle school. So I go to high school now and living my life, and then one day I have this dream where this angel comes to me, this dark angel, and say, it's time for the sacrifice. So I'm like, what sacrifice? He says, don't you remember the oath that you made? So from that time I was around 16, I tried to put it into the back. I'm like, this stuff is fake. It doesn't exist, So when I was 18 now, I used to be involved in gangs, guns, drugs, and all that stuff. And then one time when I was walking from a party, I remember there was like a shootout in the party. And I just looked at God and said, God, I can't keep living my life like this. I feel empty. I'm around all these people, these gangs and these drugs and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, when I'm in my room by myself, I began to ask myself questions like, is God real? What happens if I die today? So I will always have those conversations with God. And I say, God, if you're real, prove it to me. After that, after I prayed that prayer, I had the worst 2 months of my life. I went to the hospital 25 times in 1 month. I had headaches for 2 months straight. I've been to almost every hospital in Brooklyn and Queens. And then it got to a point where they were telling me that I need to see a psychiatrist, like something is wrong with me. But I'm like, nothing wrong. I'm telling them, no, I'm having headaches. And when it's time for the MRI for me to see my head, the pain will move in my belly. And when it's time for the belly, the pain will move in my foot. So I'm telling them all these things. They're like, this guy, something is wrong with this guy. So one of these days, I said, you know what? I came to the end of my rope, and I said, I had to try something. I don't know if it's going to be Muhammad, Hindu. I said, I have to try something. So I said, you know what? Let me try Jesus, because that's what I knew growing up, with my grandmother. So one time I went to the hospital. I went to Sweeney Downstate. That's like Kings County in Brooklyn, New York. And I did this. I don't remember what the test is called. It's like when you run on a treadmill to connect your heart. Got to remember how I mentioned this demon would move from my head, then my heart, then my whole body, and then they think I'm crazy. So after I did this test of running, the doctor was like, this doesn't make sense. These are not the results of someone who's sick, of someone that has heart problems. So this doesn't make sense to me. So next thing you know, I went downstairs with my mom. They had me in a wheelchair, and this nurse, a Jamaican lady with glasses, she looked at me, she said, young man, you need Jesus. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer because I don't have no more options, I'm tired. I was contemplating just killing myself. I had 2 headaches 2 months straight. All my friends that was with me, I was partying with, and doing all these crazy things, there was nowhere to be found. Nowhere. So I said, you know what? Let's try this out. The next 2 weeks, I came to church, and I came in and Pastor V was preaching, and the whole time I'm saying, God, I hope this works. Because if this doesn't work, I'm not doing this no more. So literally, I remember Pastor V. After the service, I don't even remember the sermon because my head was hurting so bad. I went to the altar, and he asked me if I know Jesus. I said no. I was sagging my pants. I was sagging my pants. I was still out there. They said come as you are, so that's what I'm gonna do. Whoever judge me, judge me. You know. And as soon as I gave my life to Jesus, I started manifesting. I started like spinning and vomiting and coughing and all these things. Then afterwards, I try to put scientific. Okay, I'm a logical person. I try to put scientific reasoning behind it. Like, why was I acting like that? That doesn't make no sense. Where is this coming from? You know, and people like Deaconess Judith and Sister Deaconess Figure at the time, they counseled me. And then ever since that day, I've been coming to church. Um, and I said, you know what? I want to dedicate my life to Jesus Christ. And I want him to do something new because I was tired of living the life that I was living. So I started coming every single week, every single week, and I started realizing the more I would come, the headache will go away more and more and more and more. And then I realized that God allowed the headaches just so I could come to Him. If I didn't go through the headaches, I wouldn't be here today. So He allowed me to go through those headaches, and ever since that day, I've been reading my Bible, I've been fasting and praying. I learned how to fight for myself. So Satan can't just push me around no more. And then God put people like Apostle in my life. He took me under His wing as His own son. Has just been showing me the ropes. So when I look back at all of this, I just know God is real. I wasn't thinking about Jesus. I wasn't thinking about Jesus. I was living my life, doing my own thing. And Jesus came to save me. So that's just an encouragement to anybody, especially young people. I feel like there's a lot of temptation in the world, especially for younger people. And at first it's sweet, but at the end, oh yeah, I feel like a big part of the testimony. I ended up going to jail. I went to jail. I got involved in some stuff that I wasn't supposed to get involved in. And during that time, I prayed. I said, God, you let me out, I'm gonna serve you. I promise you, just let me out, please. I won't do it again. And God did that. And I kept my word. So I dedicated my youth to the Lord. And this was one of the best decisions I made in my life. So yeah, that's my testimony. Just a short. And when he came to us, he was just starting college. Today he's a graduate. Not just a graduate, he was a top graduate that he got an internship in Bloomberg. And during the internship in Bloomberg, he was the best intern out of like 100 interns. 400 interns. And he got to meet Mike Bloomberg, and he was the intern that gave the speech before Mike Bloomberg. Today, this 23-year-old man that was like a gangster walking the streets of Brooklyn works in corporate America. Praise the Lord.